Then you will certainly find the website, European Union website, where you will find some guidelines for implementation, that could help you implement the EMAS. And as it's quite similar, it can be used also if you want to apply for ISO 14001. Other labels or standards exist also, like Green Globe 21 for a hotel industry, and I believe there are other standards also in Jamaica that exist, but I will leave maybe David later on to tell you a few words about it. Okay, so why you could and you should implement an environmental management system? This is a good question because it requires, I cannot hide that it requires some work, it requires resources, time, and reflection, So what is the interest? Well, why? So the first driving force, we could say, for implementing the environmental management system would be the positive impact on the environment and on human health, on people's health. But unfortunately, well, this is very, nice objective and aim and so on, but unfortunately especially for private sector, this is not enough. I mean, okay, we can be just good for the environment, but what will be our benefit? So other driving forces, I think, apply more to the private sector. And first of them is meeting customers' requirements. I don't know Jamaican markets, but I can tell you that in Europe and in States, I think it's similar. Environment becomes one of the first criteria of clients' motivation, to buy a product. People are really very sensitive and really very aware already about the environment, and they will choose the product certified ISO rather than a product not certified ISO or with other label. So this is something to think about it. The second driving force, very important one, I think, is to meet or to win other markets. I mean, to extend your activity to other markets. And I'm thinking here, for example, once again about the European market or American market, because yesterday when we visited the facility, agro-processing plant, I discovered that they would like to go to the European market, but one of the first things that they heard from the European Union is, okay, are you certified ISO 14001? And then, all right, no, we are not. Okay, so please come back when you are, more or less. Well, I'm sure it wasn't so. They weren't so tough, but it's true that in Europe it starts to be really a standard, having the certification and environmental management system in your facility. So if you don't want to be excluded from some markets, I think you should start thinking about doing something about the environment, not implementing ISO 14001, in 2 months, because it's too ambitious. But start thinking, and step by step you will achieve what you want. Okay, it's also about cost savings, but the environment is quite different from the energy, and it's. I would prefer, like Eton, to tell you, okay, you will win, you will have such benefits, energy savings, and you will earn money. You will save money from implementing some environmental measures, but it's not so easy. You can have some savings. For example, I put 2 examples. First one is your use of raw materials and water, for example. The environmental management system can discover some non-efficient practice in your facility, for example. Some water that is just spoiled, not used. And while thinking, you can discover that, okay, maybe we should take this water and reuse it in other process or in another part of the facility. So, all right, less water used, less water taken from the network, so less money paid to the supplier. The same for the waste generation. all facilities generate some waste, and when you dispose the waste, when you send it to the landfill, you have to pay something. So if you optimize your processes and if you generate less waste, you will pay less money to the utility. Okay, another key issue and motivation for implementing the environmental management system is meeting legislative requirements. This is actually one of the key elements of ISO. The first objective and the first thing that you have to be sure that you are compliant with is legal obligations. So you cannot be certified ISO or other EMAS or something if you are not, in line with the legal obligations and other regulations. The problem is, and of course it avoids you some problems with inspections, audits and paying penalties and so on. The problem is that it works well when the legal and regulatory framework is established, clear, and available, to private sector or to facilities. So this is something to be done before. Its environmental management system is also about the image of your facility. So you can communicate, okay, we manage our environment, we are environmental friendly, we are green, we are whatever you want. And as people, like I said before, as people are more and more concerned about the environment, they will be captive to such communication. There are other also driving forces, like meeting law requirements. This is something that, I can tell you the same, that in European Union countries, most of loans, the list of eligibility criteria to apply for a loan has already environmental requirements in it. So if you want to get some money from the bank, you should make sure, you should provide them information about the environmental management in your facility and show them that you are, that you control your environmental impacts. It can work also for insurance. Managing the environmental is also about managing risks. So if you show to the insurance company that you are managing the environment and you have some procedures, for example, in case of emergencies or things like that, it can be a guarantee for them that that you are a good client for them, simply. There are also other, maybe less important or less, more difficult to measure motivations, but what is important, I think, is the first one, because establishing environmental management system can also improve the overall management in a facility, because you have to sit with your colleagues and you have to sit and think, okay, our procedures, are they environmentally friendly or not? Are they efficient or not? And it can really, you can come up with some ideas how to improve your overall management, how to produce in more efficient way, how to spoil less, how to use less materials, maybe how to optimize the transportation of your products, or how to choose your suppliers. Plenty of things. Well, people and employees can feel better, working in an environmental friendly company. This is really about the awareness raising and internal communication. And it's very important also to get people motivated, to get people on board when you think about the environmental management system, because it's similar to the energy matters. You cannot, the system will not really work if people don't adopt some behaviors, environmental friendly behaviors. It's like energy efficiency. If you turn off lights, you will get more savings than just if you change bulbs. It's the same. People has to be aware that, okay, I can have this impact and I can minimize it in such a way. So it's also about everyday practice and behaviors. Snowball effect on suppliers. It's maybe later on, when the market is really ready, but you can You can, for example,